Whoever is out there is familiar with Eric Thomas. Um, Eric Thomas has been a great motivator for me, um, just because I feel like we share some of the similar difficulties now. I think in the topic of difficulties and obstacles, um, yeah, there is a way of comparing which one is harder or not, but at the end of the day, you're the only one that walks through your struggles, and you're the only one who understands. Um, Now, don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. What does that mean? That means, um, you know, in this little short story, I've had many coworkers where they show up to get a paycheck. And what do I mean by that? They say, you know what? Um, I'm here. I'm gonna do the bare minimum just to get me by. If they ask me to do something extra, I'll do it, but I won't do X, Y, or Z. Now, there's this gentleman. Um, Now, this particular company, he's been working for many, many years. He's actually 2 years away from retirement. He's an older individual. And what amazes me the most is that you would think that, he, out of a group of five, he would be the least working individual. And, I've always paid attention to him. And the way you pay attention to him is by looking at him when he's not looking at you. So he's working without having to watch over his shoulder, and that's when you realize when somebody's actually working. They don't need somebody on top of their neck, and so this individual used his 8 hours, and I asked him, I said, how come you don't move a little bit faster at the beginning, so the last hour or so you have time to relax? And he said, you know what, I used to do that, but then you're just like wondering, waiting for time to end. Why do that? Why not just be at a steady state, steady pace, and at the same time you get things done in a much better way. He says, a lot of young individuals around here, they're faster than I am. They're stronger now. But the rooms, or the buildings, or the offices, anything that they put their hands on, um, it doesn't equal my job. My work, whoever goes into any of my facilities, they understand who was there. So it brought me back to, don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. You can apply that to many, many different things in life. School, often we hear people saying, well, I had to drop out of school because I didn't have the funding, or I ran out of time, so I went home. Now, I'm not saying for you to always stay past the clock for whatever reason, but it seems that many people just do the very minimum at work, at life. What do you think? Are you one of those people? Do you do the bare minimum? Or are you one of those people who says, I will not stop, I will not finish until I get this done? Now, is being a workaholic a good thing? I don't know. I'm sure it has its cons. But doing the bare minimum, how can that impact you? How do people see you as an individual? Kind of reminds me back when, when I was in high school, and in some classes, whenever we would do group work, I always felt like I was a burden. I felt like I was the one who was keeping the group behind. So I made sure I worked the hardest, so they felt like they made the right decision to include me in the group. Who are you? Who, who stays after, helps people out? Are you the person who, when you have a homework assignment, you stay up whatever time at night till you can finish and make sure you have it ready for the next day? And if not, I invite you to think about the different habits and different work ethics that you may have. How do you think that's shaping the way people see you now? I know we talked about not having to worry about the way people see you, but we all understand that um, there's a greater feeling when people know that they can rely on you, because it is tough waiting on somebody. Um, so my my last thought is, whenever you're working, do you stop when you're tired or when you reach the bare minimum, or do you get the job done and you finish and then you go home? What kind of personality do you have? Again, no right or wrong answers, just a way of have a conversation. For now, Anonymous Messenger is out.